not believe what you believe. What is it? What is so amazing, so impressive that you say that if someone says "Qul ya ayyuhal kafirun," nobody can bring any similar words to this? Where is it? Where's the point in this? Where's the point in saying I do not believe what you believe and you not believe what I believe? What is spectacular about this? So, can you tell me that?
Are you finished?
The other thing is,
I'm not finished.
No, of course not, because I have my 5 minutes.
Of course you do. That's what I'm asking you.
Thank you. So otherwise I have to issue a penalty against you. The other thing is that every text or scripture in the world, from Sanskrit to Shakespeare to German philosophers, they all have actually, they can claim that it's very unique. Somehow they are always unique because you can never ever reach them. Of course, Quran can be somehow very unique according to their standards, and no one can write a book like Quran. But it doesn't mean that Quran is uniquely the only book which has the highest text or the highest eloquence in speaking. That is completely wrong, absolutely wrong. So now I forget the 5 minutes. You can answer me. But just come back and ask me, tell me what is so spectacular about I do not believe what you believe.
Okay. I asked you how many times which of the 16 Bihar is in the Surah Al-Kafirun in?
Answer me.
Hang on. How many seconds?
He's finished.
No, he's finished.
No, you can
Go outside now.
I didn't even say 10 seconds and you interjected. I pretty much doubt you're capable of having a discussion, without interjecting. Okay, start again.
And now
I asked you.
part of the show to say that.
It's not a show. It's not a show. It's a wake-up call for you. What I asked you is, Surah Al-Kafirun, what's so unique about it?
Exactly.
What's so interesting about it? What's so miraculous about it?
I do not believe what you believe, and you do not believe what I believe.
Listen. You are speaking English.
What the hell is that?
Right. I asked you, the Arabs, they had ways of speaking. Poetry is what they excelled in. In the Quran, there is, even though it's not prose, it's not poetry, but it has rhythm and rhyme. This is what we find in poetry. So which of the 16 Bihar is Surah Al-Kafirun in? And I am positive you have no idea.
Can I answer?
Oh, go ahead.
Can I answer?
Of course.
I asked you before, what makes you believe that the measurements you use to say something is very unique or no one can challenge the Quran, by whom your measurements are accepted? What is the tools which everyone can accept as a challenge that your Quran is perfect?
Right. When you came with this presupposition that the Surah Al-Kafirun is not extraordinary, it's not anything special, anyone can make it, I automatically had a presupposition, and I wanted to check my presupposition whether it's correct or not. That's why I asked you. In Arabic literature at that time, when people were reciting and challenging poetry, they can respond in poetry in return. That's how they were capable of. Quran came in rhymes and rhythms, and the Quran challenged them, bring something like it. It should be so easy, isn't it? As you're saying, it should be very easy. If it was so easy, they should be imitating it. So what they were familiar with was the 16th Bihar, which are the types of how the poetry's rhymes and meters are, if you didn't know.
One question?
Yeah?
According to which sources? According to the Islamic sources, isn't it?
That shows...
Do you have any external sources?
Excuse me.
Proof that actually that is right?
Have you studied Arabic literature even to the very, 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 very basic level?
Not really, like roughly 600 million Muslims. There's just Arabs, they can speak Arabic, and then apart from that, everyone
Sorry. What's the question I asked you?
Is actually
what is the question I asked you?
Aware of Arabic language.
What is the question I asked you?
So what is it?
What's the question I asked you, my friend Kier?
Yeah, you wanted me to use this tricky tool Do you
not a trickle
understand
tone.
Arabic so you can understand?
Did I say you
Quran?
understand Arabic?
Yeah.
I didn't ask you whether you understand Arabic or not.
Yeah, now you want to use these tools to weaken my position.
Your position is already weak because of...
Absolutely not.
Are you going to let me finish my statement? Your position is already weak by default because you do not even know anything about, from your own testimony here, demonstration of your testimony, that anything about what Arabic literature looks like, what Arabic literature composed of.
Come on. How many Muslims?
Excuse me.
How many Muslims
Hang on.
know that what you say?
What is a Bihar? I've given the answer already. I'm going to ask you again.
I'm a jahil. Answer me.
No, what is a Bihar?
Answer me.
I'm asking you.
I so told you. I don't know.
So, if you have studied Arabic, basic level of Arabic literature and poetry, you would have known what is a Bihar is. So
I never study Arabic.
So that's exactly what I'm saying.
I don't think so. You need Arabic.
So now, when we're dealing with a genre, a linguistic genre in a language called Arabic, and you're saying, yes, Quran can be imitated, when you haven't got a clue what the Quranic language is, you haven't got the clue what the Arabic language is, and the difference between the two.
The translation of Surah Al-Kafirun.
Can I finish?
It's so complex.
Can I finish, my friend?
No one can say.
Can I finish? So what you are demonstrating to me and everyone who's listening is that your ignorance of the structure, the stylistics, the content, the form of the language of Arabic spoken by the Arabs and Arabic of the Quran, and the differences between them has led you to make this false claim based on this false assumption, based on this ignorance, that they can be imitated. Because look. If I give you an example, imitate this pen, okay, make a pen like this. Now, if I didn't show you this pen, okay, make a pen like me.
Can I respond?
Before you respond, I have a pen in my pocket, right? Imagine you didn't see that. Actually, I may have another one. Make a pen exactly like it. Exactly. Can you do it?
This is a very false argument.
Can you make
because
a pen?
Of course you can't.
Why not?
But you can even not make the Shakespeare scripture as exactly as it is.
It's imitated. You don't know that.
Is it?
Yes, it has been imitated. So that really shows you haven't been on it. It has been. So one moment.
Shakespeare scriptures is unique as your Quran.
No.
But it doesn't mean that the Shakespeare scripture
let's come back
is
to the
so
point.
unique
Let's
that
come
no
back
one
to
can
the.
reach this.
Let's come back to the point. So if you didn't know how my pen looks like, was it red, blue, green, plastic, metal? Does it have a ballpoint or is it ink? You would not be able to make it. Do you agree?
Yeah, same like with the Shakespeare scriptures.
Hang on. Look at pen. So do you agree?
You can't copy it.
You cannot, because you need to know how is it like in the first place to make it.
Yeah.
Good? Right.
So
If you
a divine pen.
please, if you don't know how the Quran is like in the language, would you be able to make something like it? The answer is no, you won't be able to. I've not finished.
Okay, I have
not finished yet. Before you argue, hold on.
I forget it.
No. In a discussion, write it down if you forget.
No.
Right.
I just gave it as a visitor.
Because what you're doing is you keep it. Take my notebook and take my pen before you forget. There you go. Right. So, if you don't know how the Quran and its language is, you would not be able to imitate it. Secondly, if you don't know what the Arabic language is like, in their poetry, in their prose, you will not be able to imitate even the Arabic language, bring about anything in the Arabic language.
Fantastic.
Right. So your ignorance is not a bad thing. I'm ignorant of millions and zillions and things. In fact, virtually I'm ignorant of everything apart from few things.
Fantastic.
That's how I am. So it's not a bad thing. It's not, putting you down, putting me down. So your ignorance of, which is a good thing, but not in this case when you're discussing with me, of the nature of Arabic language and the nature of Arabic poetry.
It doesn't make your argument stronger.
You're again cutting me off in my statement. So your ignorance in the Arabic language itself, the Quranic language of the Quran, because you don't know whether there's a difference between them or not, and whether one can be imitated or not, has led you to make this false claim based on this very bad assumption, baseless assumption. And so what I'm saying is, for you to make even an assertion based on a false assumption, you need to go and read up something. Read up on it. See, that's why I asked you. Surah Al-Kafirun does not fall under any of the 16 Bihars, okay, for your information. And Bihar is a form of Arabic poetry in this rhyme and meter, like many others. There is al-basit, al-khafif, al-madid, al-tawil, al-rajas. Wait, let me finish.
Still Quran.
Excuse me, let me finish. This is not Quran. What I talked about is the meter.
Surah Al-Kafirun is not Quran.
Oh, please, are you going to let me finish? People who are listening there thinking like, what's wrong with you? So what I'm saying is...
I read the wrong Quran.
Right. What I'm saying to you, my friend, for your information, without the prerequisite knowledge on a subject matter, imagine I'm saying Einstein's equation of E equals mc squared, E equals mc squares is wrong. And somebody says not mc squares, it's mc squares. So I say, yeah, that too is wrong. And I don't know what E stands for. I don't know what equal stands for. I don't know what M stands for. I don't know what a square is. And I say it's wrong. Now, if I made a claim like this, I'm making a fool out of myself. To make that statement wrong, that equation wrong, not only I need to know what they stand for, not only I need to know what this equation is all about, and then give my mathematics and my science to disagree and disprove that this is wrong. Wait.
Can I answer?
Not about answering. This is not a question about answering. I'm saying you must read up a bit more. So, because you haven't taken any notes, it's my time to go back to your notes. So when the issues of the Surah Al-Kafirun, there's no point discussing how...
You're just talking to the cameras. Can I answer?
Listen, what I'm saying is, there's no point talking to you when you don't even know the basics of the language.
No, sorry, that's not an excuse to find out if a religion is true or not. That's why I want to come back to...
Isn't this what you made? The Islam is false because Surah Al-Kafirun can be imitated?
No. Excuse me. It is very, very, very simple Arabic. قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ.
Do you speak Arabic?
Can be.
Do you speak Arabic?
I'm not from Arabic country.
Do you speak it?
How many Muslims can speak Arabic? Can you speak Arabic?
You speak Arabic?
Yeah, fluent? No, you definitely don't speak Arabic. I do not believe that anyone outside the Arabic country can speak proper Arabic unless they have learned it.
Okay. Now here is
just a show.
A simple task for you. Right? Simple task.
I was in Islamic school as well.
Listen,
and
a simple
can I
task.
ask you one question about this, what you said?
Yeah, what did I say?
Okay, so did you study Christianity? Because as a Muslim you have to believe that Jesus is not the Son of God, right?
So I have to study Christianity to make a discussion with them? Yes, I did.
Good. You study.
Yeah.
Did you study all the Greek and
as much as
Latin?
needed?
No. Are you able to speak Greek? Okay. Are you able to speak Latin?
Okay.
So you can understand all these old scriptures back to 1,500, 2,000 years.
Okay. Let me respond to that.
If you have not studied that, you can never come to the conclusion that Christianity is wrong.
Let me respond.
So I just wanted to reject your.
Can I respond to your?
No, you can't, because you have speaking.
No, you can't.
So you have.
Okay, in my time.
So what I said to you,
Greek.
If you are not fluent in this language, you are not able to understand Christianity. So if you come back to me and you say, "Oh, you are just a jahil because you don't understand the basics of the Arabic language," then this is a very weak argument, because you cannot defend your position that Jesus is not the Son of God and Jesus has nothing to do with that and this. If you have not turned your face on the old scriptures, and you can only study the old scriptures if you are aware of certain languages. So your argument that I need Arabic to understand Quran, that is totally wrong. So sorry for that, buddy.
Okay. So again, in a discussion, you should listen and answer and respond.
Come on.
You're interrupting.
Would you?
Time, can you time, please?
Okay, I'm starting right now.
If we switch off the cameras, would you speak normal?
Time. Can you time?
Just
right.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's my time to talk.
Yeah. Is it show for the camera?
Excuse me. I'm talking now. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Right. So I wasn't making a point because you don't know Arabic. You're a jahil. You're an ignorant person. You made a statement like, "Oh, قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ" is something so basic. You use the Arabic term, and to show basics. So I thought, okay, since you're using the Arabic terminologies, Arabic verse or ayah of the Quran, so maybe you know Arabic. So I asked you, do you know Arabic? Not because I want you to speak Arabic. The question was simply affirming it. do you speak Arabic? That was all. Not because if you don't speak Arabic, you're a jahil, because
No, the message behind this.
excuse me.
You don't speak Arabic.
Excuse me.
That's why
Excuse me.
That's why you're fooled.
Excuse
This
me.
is the message behind.
No.
Yeah,
So
of
you
course.
you have so much preconceived biases within you that every time you speak to someone like me, for example, you're making up your opinions about me when I don't hold them to be true. I did not intend anyway to say that because you don't speak Arabic, you are a fool, you are an ignorant, and so on. You made a statement about the Quran. Surah Al-Kafirun is nothing special, and you said Qul ya ayyuhal kafirun. You didn't just say the English, you spoke the Arabic. That's why I asked you, because if you speak the Arabic, I would have then asked you my next point. What's all this? Listen, if you had the knowledge, I would have asked you. If this was so easy, for example, maybe you can't do it. A simple task: go to any professors in any university who speaks and who teaches Arabic language of the classical period, and he's a non-Muslim. So it's a good advantage for you to imitate Surah Al-Kafirun. You should be able to do that, right? Easy, as you said.
Yes, one of my friends even done it.
One moment.
He done it.
You should be able to do that, right? Is your friend someone who is credible in the Arabic language? Do they have a...
Yes.
Good. Okay, where can I find it? Has he published it?
Yeah, yes, very, very, very famous on YouTube.
Has he published it?
Yes, he has published that there. Abdullah Samir.
Abdullah Samir. Abdullah Samir
just
doesn't...
go on
Hang
YouTube.
on. Abdullah Samir has published Surah...
No, he has actually taken the Quran challenge.
Okay.
And he challenged the Muslims on that.
Hang on. So Abdullah Samir has imitated Surah Al-Kafirun, right?
No, he has not imitated Surah Al-Kafirun. He said that there's nothing spectacular about certain verses in the Quran.
Look.
You can create verses which are in the same way eloquent,
basically, look,
your Quran.
The frustration. Look at the frustration in the discussion. I asked you for an imitation. You bring a friend.
No, not of this.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Excuse me. You bring a scholar of some kind in YouTube. He's not a scholar, by the way. I know of him. Yes, I know of him.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Right? I know of him
you know
very well.
Abdullah Samir?
Yes.
Okay.
So I know how much he's capable of. How much in terms. You know what? Bring him here.
He's in Canada.
Invite him. Yeah, because people back they're called keyboard warriors. Behind their computers, they think they are the scholars on the planet Earth. When they come and speak as corner, David Wood came. So did Nabil Qureshi, so did many others. When they come, they learn their lesson from the Muslims. It's not a boasting thing. That's the reality. In Speaker's
That's
Corner,
why you could not even respond to slavery.
Listen. So what I'm saying is, Surah Al-Kafirun, what I'm asking you, because Abdullah Samir, as in your own testimony, hasn't done it, this particular surah, go and ask a professor of Arabic, classical Arabic, to produce something like it. So I will give you 1 year to come back. Is 1 year enough time, do you think?
Yeah.
Good, 1 year. You're a visitor.
This is clearly for the camera.
Excuse me.
Come on.
Listen.
Come on.
For you're not taking this seriously. I'm being very serious.
No, you're making a show.
No, I'm being very serious. Secondly, brothers, okay. So what I'm saying is, this is a task you have to do. What you don't know is that books have been written by professors in the Arabic language showing how this is inimitable, which obviously you haven't read because you haven't got the access to the language. Or do you speak Arabic?
I beg you, brother. Sorry.
Do you speak Arabic? An affirmation simply.
No, I'm Kurdish.
Right.
I don't speak Arabic.
If you read a book by Bassam Sa'i, he has published monographs, actual academic works, and given the example of Surah Al-Kafirun itself, as well as various other surahs. Why this surah was unimitable by the Arab scholars at that time. Secondly,
You're joking.
I'm not joking.
This is a joke.
Look, I'm being serious. You need to wake up to reality.
I do not believe what you believe. It's not.
That's English.
It doesn't matter. This is the exact meaning of Qul ya ayyuhal kafirun.
What you don't realize,
So
okay.
that is nonsense.
You know what? I have spent all this time with you, and you haven't even got to the very basics of the nature of the challenge. The nature of the challenge is not, as you said, how eloquent it is, how unique it is. False. Your assumption that, let me finish.
Do you know how many Muslims struggle, how many scholars are struggling about certain words in a verse?
My friend,
yeah?
Your assumption that the Quran is inimitable because it's unique, false. because it's what? Eloquent, false. Quran is unique because of something that you don't even know yet. So I am saying the Quran is unique, and you have a professor in the Arabic language who's got a published work which I've given to the friends of Abdullah Samir, and he hasn't come back to me yet. Do you know his name? Hassan Radwan. He speaks Arabic. He's the one helping him to write those so-called surahs like it.
I don't think so, because he was an Arabic teacher.
Look.
So I don't think so.
This individual, in his own testimony,
He's very strong in Arabic. You don't need Abdullah Samir, which is a
Abdullah
non-Arabic speaker.
Abdullah Samir doesn't
Why
know.
do you attack them?
I'm not attacking them. I'm saying
Yeah, then why would
I
you attack
gave
them?
this.
Keep them out from the discussion.
No, I'm saying your friends, which you thought I don't know of.
Keep them out.
No,
Come back to
it's
to the
important.
topic.
It's important.
No, keep
These ex-Muslims, they're ex-Muslims.
Now
These-
you
Are you going to let me finish, right?
Yeah.
These ex-Muslims, he was an Arab, and I gave him this book to understand the challenge. So you ask him, you ask Abdullah Samir.
unprovable
Excuse me,
allegation.
listen.
You can tell whatever you want.
Listen, what I'm asking you is simply, go and ask them, your friends, have you read this book? And have you managed to understood the challenge? And can you imitate it? Because this book lays down to you objective criteria and measures of how to imitate the Quran. You obviously don't know anything about the nature of the
come
challenge.
on,
That's why it's
stop
difficult.
it, stop
Secondly, you
Stop
talked
it.
about, let me finish, Omar Khayyam. Did Omar Khayyam produce a chapter like under this Quran? We find no examples, or are they?
Omar Khayyam discovered so many.
I asked you a question.
He laughed all
Look.
his life about Quran.
You don't speak
He was
English very
such
well,
a
do you?
No, of course not, because
Of course not.
it's not my first language. Does it?
But
Does it?
can we end the discussion here?
So-
Because
so
you can't speak English with
Is
me.
there any issues with that? I'm not.
I had asked
English
you.
is not my first language.
I had asked you, had Omar Khayyam produced an imitation of the Quran? I am not asking his opinion about.
Many people after him.
Excuse me.
Until today.
Excuse me, my friend Kian. You bring in the names of people. Abdullah Samir, Omar Khayyam. You brought X, Y, and Z. Have they managed to give us
Yes.
a documentary
Yes.
evidence
Yes.
of an imitation they have done of the Quran?
Yes.
Where?
But the only thing is you don't accept this as a proof,
Okay.
because
Wait.
your mindset is already Quran is perfect.
So where can I find
And that's
the
why you think.
So which surah did Omar Khayyam imitate that you are
I'm
familiar
not
with?
speaking about Omar Khayyam and the surah.
Don't you
I
get
said
it?
there was people after him.
Wait.
They done it.
Look,
and he
wait.
mocked.
Wait.
He mocked Quran
Excuse
a
me.
lot.
Excuse me.
And
You are an intelligent
of
person.
its
Look.
context.
Look. No doubt. God has given you intelligence,
Acquaintance,
or
sorry.
nature has given you intelligence. Yeah, nature is your God, right? At this very minute. With this intelligence, I'm simply asking you, who has imitated? Where can I read it? So you said, mention the name Omar Khayyam.
I just said Omar
Excuse me,
Khayyam
can I finish?
disprove Quran.
Are you all like that?
as
No, of course
as a
you're
great
not.
book.
I am
I'm not saying
simply...
he said Surah Al-Kafirun or any other.
Look. When somebody asks you, who has imitated which chapter, and you bring Omar Khayyam,
I never
who
said
hasn't?
this. I never said this.
Okay, good. So did you answer my question? Of course you didn't. You answered a question I didn't ask. Did I ask you which individuals in the history of Islam for 1400 years disagreed with the eloquence of the Quran and said, oh, it doesn't make sense there, it's not beautiful here? You can bring this
This
people.
is a disagreement, isn't
Excuse me, listen.
it? And this
I-
debunks your idea
Hello?
of a perfect Quran.
Hello.
No, only because
I have
you
not
think
finished
your
my
Quran
statement.
is perfect doesn't mean it's perfect, isn't it?
I asked you, the Quran challenges people to imitate it. So what you should
They've
do,
done it.
what you should
But
do.
you was not happy
okay, you
with
know
the
what?
result.
He said they've done it, right? Did you all hear that? They done it. Who done it? Who done it? Give me a name and their works that I can read. Okay, I'm going to write it now. Name of the individual who's done it, or individuals, and their works that I can read, and which surah they imitated. Number one.
Yeah, I can give you that.
Go and give me now.
Take my email address and I send you all together. Yeah, I don't have it with me. I just came here to watch around.
Are they available?
But I
Hang
can
on.
show you. It's very easy for me.
Very easy for you, right? Can you Google it? It's not on the internet yet.
I don't know if you can Google this.
So you're saying such a thing that's been done is...
Everything can be Googled.
Wait.
Whole Islam can be Googled.
Wait. And yet it's not on the internet yet?
It is.
Good. So if you Google it now, you should be able to find it. You know, use my phone. I've got internet connection. or you can use yours, and tell me which surah they imitated and what are the credentials. It's important to know. And while you're looking for it, you talked about like, oh, have I studied Greek or no Greek enough? You find it. Don't listen to me. I'm just, for you, background information. When it's necessary, I would go to the Greek and Hebrew to understand what they're trying to say. I am not a person that I will make up my own understanding of what Christian texts saying. The Christian texts do not demand you don't even know me. The Christian texts do not demand that you understand the text only in the Greek or in the Hebrew. They're happy with the English translations, so we discuss in English translations. They do not say our teaching is restricted in the original language. If they did, then I would be talking in the original language and I would say, what does it say in the original language? They don't demand that. The difference is in the Islamic avenue, the Quran is in Arabic. So you have to bring Arabic language in. You have to go to the Arabic original text when there is a dispute or disagreement. But they don't ask that. But even so, when the Christians are talking about some things, we go to so for example, we say, oh, Jesus said before Abraham was ego eimi. Ego eimi is not English, it's Greek. We go to that level because we want to know what did he say in the original language that they are presenting their text in. So yes, we do. Just because you think you're going to just dismiss me, oh, Christianity is not true because I don't go into the Greeks and so on. No, the arguments that Christianity and the Christian theology is false can be done without the language, even what they would agree with. You don't have to go to the language to understand their theology. But the Quran is different because the Quran is miraculous, inimitable in the Arabic language.
Sorry, but I have to go.
Sure. But Wikipedia,
you can finish that.
No problem. Your Wiki Islam didn't help you. No problem. Next time. No problem.
Listen.
I said no problem. But I want to answer this. Listen. I'm not going to go. I am not going to go there. You made it a claim. You substantiate.
I have not to accept.
No. Look. You said it's there. You're unable to find
you
it.
Have external sources.
When you have
check them.
No. When you do, next time bring it here because.
I'm not here. I was not here to start a discussion.
Don't worry. I
was just speaking to one single person.
No problem.
And then it came out.
My friend. No problem. What I was saying, the very thing you said about this one question. What was the question that you said about the very? I was about to write it down.
Yeah. Now you have your audience. You can talk to the audience. I have to go.
Excuse me.
You don't have to excuse that. I have to go.
Listen, you can go within the next 2 minutes if you don't mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
summarize it. So what I'm saying is, it's quite important for you to look into it, right? You have an understanding of a conspiracy. Arab Christians, they did not preserve their linguistic heritage. Only Islamic Empire did, by control and by force. The conspiracies that you bring on table is unbelievable.
Excuse me.
It is a worse conspiracy.
23 years and Christianity and Judaism was wiped off from the Arabic island, isn't it?
Where did they come? So Christians,
23 years.
Listen,
and you deleted
so
the whole history.
So where did the Coptic Christians come from? Planet Venus? When they're living in Egypt?
What does it mean?
Where did they come from? They're still living for hundreds and thousands of years.
So what?
If they're wiped from existence, did they sprout from the ground?
Is today Saudi Arabia a place where Christian Jews live?
Excuse me. The Arab Coptic Christians who have been living there for thousands of years. If you assume, or if not assume, when you assert they were wiped in the first 23 years, then obviously there's no Christians and Jews, right, in Arabia at all, within this peninsula. Did they just sprout from the ground?
In Saudi Arabia.
Listen, when you have...
It took 23 years
listen,
to kill the history of
your conspiracy is a worse conspiracy than people saying the Jews are in control.
Any church
listen,
in Mecca or
Can
Medina?
I finish my point? Because you want to go, but you're not letting me to finish and summarize. You made some claims about the Jews, how we are anti-Semitic.
Not the Christians anymore.
Remember what you said earlier on, how Muslims are, the Quran demeans them and calls them pigs and monkeys and apes and so on.
It's written in the Quran.
Let me respond because you have to go. What you don't realize is these are a specific group of people among that community who were as a punishment turned into, and that was it. And the Quran does say not laisu sawa. They are not equal. There are some among them who stand at night praying. Oh, you've not for 22 or 20 something years you're a Muslim and you've never read this ayah in the Quran about talking them that when they hear وَإِذَا سَمِعُوا مَا
And
أُنزِلَ.
still they go to Jahannam.
Excuse me.
Is it right?
Listen.
They still go to
To
Jahannam.
refute you, this
Doesn't matter
Excuse
how
me.
beautiful Quran
Excuse me.
describes them.
Look, it's very unfair. You said the Quran doesn't. I wrote it down.
Surah Al-Fatiha gives them a really nice kick in the butt.
No, it doesn't. Another lie. You said the Quran doesn't speak to them about them nicely at all. I already said the Quran says they're not equal, and some of them they are very God-fearing people.
Can Jews and Christians go to paradise?
Excuse me. Can you?
Yes or no?
Can Jews and Christians go to paradise? Can you all remember this question?
No.
Good. So we know what the question is. Let me respond to the original question. You said earlier on in the beginning, the Quran doesn't say anything good about the Christians and Jews. What a lie, as we have demonstrated. I quoted the ayah, لَيْسُوا سَوَاء. This is the Quranic ayah. So you are either ignorant for 28 years of your Muslim life, could be, or a deliberate liar. Secondly, we took... Yeah. So when you said how the whole Muslim... No, you are showing the camera.
No, it's show.
Yeah, it's a bad excuse, my friend.
Show.
It doesn't work with me.
It
doesn't work with
exactly.
me. So, no. Your excuse, there's a show for the camera, it doesn't work with me. So when you said whole Muslims are against the Jews because of this,
of course.
Another lie.
The hadith is full of hate against Jews.
Another lie. Surah Al-Fatiha you said.
Surah Al-Fatiha.
Surah Al-Fatiha
is
says
definitely something different.
غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ. Did you hear the word Christian or Jew in there?
Wait. Okay.
So, wait. So, did you... Excuse me. Did you now lie about Surah Al-Fatiha? It talks about who? Jews or the Christians being...
Surah Al-Fatiha is
kicking them in the butt?
Jews and Christians.
Excuse me. Did it say Jews and the Christians?
According to the tafsir.
Oh, now you're saying, the tafsir. So now...
So your tafsir is right, but their tafsir is wrong.
Wait. So now as you realize, when you lie against the Quran and when you're exposed in your lies, you say, but your tafsir says that. So it was the tafsir, not the Quran. Let's get it straight. Now, we Muslims do not say all the Jews in the planet Earth are wicked people, monkeys and apes. You invented this lie. What a lie you've invented. I've never, before even in this coming in here, even thought in my life that Jews and Christians are all the people. Why some people are against the stance of the Zionist Jews is because of their... Can I finish?
1,400 years ago?
Listen now. Because Muslims and Christians and Jews were living side by side. The Jewish people, for your information...
Do you accept that
the general
tafsir of Surah Al-Fatiha is that
you see how he's trying to go back?
Listen. Is mean for
the Jewish people, our Jewish friends and cousins, when they were kicked from Europe, Christian Europe, where did they go? They went to Islamic countries for their security, sanctity and safe haven. Even the Jewish historians, they will admit. You don't know anything about history. It's a fact of history. You, as an ex-Muslim, now you are giving the true representation of why you are an ex-Muslim. It is not because...
If I were a Jew and I had such a bad hadith literature in my bag, which
now going to another argument. Look,
ugly, as don't trust them, don't sleep with in their house, don't do this, don't eat with them.
The Jewish people are so ugly that Islam allows to marry their Jewish women.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. I mean, are you out of your mind?
Killing all the Jewish tribes in Saudi Arabia in between 23 years.
When Muslims are going to marry a Jewish woman, you're saying Islam says all Jewish women are ugly and get married them?
Come on.
You know what? I think enough of your exposition and embarrassment and humiliation.
Oh my God.
Whole world, this is a small world and there's a bigger world out there because of the virtue of the cameras.
Wow.
They will realize that unfortunately there are people out there called hate preachers like yourself. You've come to glorify ISIS as you did earlier on. They are the preachers of authentic Islam. Did you say that?
It's authentic Islam.
See? So ISIS supporter and whole of Muslim world are people who are hypocrites.
And goes back to the Quran, goes back to the Sunnah.
So now we realize
nothing wrong with ISIS.
So now we realize
they are your brothers.
So now we realize the only people that are true, authentic Muslims teaching are the ISIS according to you.
You just run away from the facts.
And we know
it hurts.
No, and we know that it comes from someone who labels himself as an ex-Muslim. No wonder. No wonder.
Of course.
When you study Islam, look, I just went through a few examples, and because you had to go, I couldn't and deal with every single argument. Every single argument will come down to your ignorance,
You created
your
big bubbles.
your ignorance,
You never came to the point.
your arrogance, your stubbornness.